super top secret plushie that I was about to show you and have available on November 28th for you all to adopt. But now something has gone terribly, terribly wrong, and our brand new animal family member is gone. He's gone. It's tragic, and you will never, ever, ever be able to have him in your arms. Oh, whoa. Baby Nuggy! What are you doing here, bro? I'm trying to tell the family that we lost our newest member of the family. Available at shopalexia.com on November 28th.
Nuggy, that's gone! It's all the other animals in today's video!
Wait, what? So the family can still go to shopalexia.com/subscribe and be the very first one to figure out who this secret mystery character is?
Yeah!
Oh! Well, in that case, Nuggy, let's watch today's video. Whoa! Are those paw prints? I love animals! Family, today's video is the worst zoo accidents ever! And just like our brand new secret character that you can probably also find in a zoo, or maybe even in your home too! Family, I'll be real, he's so cute! Smash like on today's video if you love animals and comment down below your favorite one! Cause family, mine is probably a lion, a seahorse, a puppy, or even a fish. Or any animal that I could cuddle just like this. Aww. You hear that, family? I just said subscribe! Accident number 1!
On November 4th, 2012, a 2-year-old called Maddox Durkosh was standing on a viewing deck to see the African painted dog enclosure at the Pittsburgh Zoo.
I already don't like this. Why are we involving a 2-year-old? That is probably smaller than the size of my 2 fingers. Even though they are weirdly long and tall. So now probably that animal is gonna think the 2-year-old's a little peanut and eat him like a snack.
The deck had a railing and many warning signs telling visitors not to lift children onto it, but Maddox's mother wanted him to see better, so she lifted him over the railing. In just seconds, he slipped and fell 14 feet down into the enclosure.
Police! Police! Where is the safety? To save this 2-year-old kid from his evil mom.
There was a net below the platform, but it was only made to catch small things like sunglasses or phones. Maddox fell onto the net, bounced off, and then dropped straight into the enclosure.
Oh my
A pack
gosh.
of 11 painted dogs ran at him right away. Witnesses said his mother screamed and tried to jump in after him, but other visitors held her back. Everyone saw the attack happen in front of them. The dogs attacked while he was conscious, biting and tearing at his body. He suffered more than 46 wounds to his head and neck, and his inner organs were destroyed. He bled to death inside the enclosure before zoo staff could get close enough to reach him. A police officer fired his gun and killed one dog, hoping it would stop the attack, but the other dogs kept going.
Dogs? They're not all bad. And definitely not all hungry hippos. Just like that, some animals are cute. Just like you. And family, by the way, we have so many more crazy zoo accidents in today's video. Like one with a black whale, one with sneaky wolves, another with a giant lion, and even a super fast cheetah. Keep watching till the end of today's video so you can see.
The tragedy quickly started a big argument. The zoo said the mother had ignored the warnings and acted carelessly, while the mother and her family said the zoo was unsafe, that the railing left children in danger, and that the whole design of the platform was flawed. Both sides took legal action against each other, but in the end, no charges were brought against the mom. The family later made a private settlement with the zoo, and soon after the attack, the viewing platform was removed. As for the painted dogs, only the one killed during the rescue attempt died that day. The other dogs were later sent to different zoos. The painted dog exhibit was closed forever, and the space was later turned into a cheetah exhibit.
Wait, family, comment down below who you think is wrong in this situation. The mom for ignoring the warning signs? Or the zoo for having a dangerous viewing deck? And what are these painted dogs? Let me see, painted dogs. Whoa, they look crazy. Their ears are big like bears. Their bodies are tiny but agile. And they have spots all over them, just like camouflage. They're the ultimate predator. And sorry, tiny 2-year-old baby. I guess you are number 1 on their list. Oh, family, smash like if you think this is sad. Accident number 2.
Dawn Brancheau. Dawn Brancheau was an experienced trainer with 15 years of work behind her and was especially known for her bond with the orcas. Her closest connection was with Tilikum,
An orca is a giant whale.
SeaWorld Orlando's largest whale, who weighed more than 12,000 pounds. That day, she was performing in the Dine with Shamu show,
12,000 pounds. What is she eating every night? In and out?
where guests sat by the pool eating while watching trainers and whales interact. At the end of the show, Dawn lay on a shallow ledge right next to Tilikum, rubbing his head as part of the routine. Then, out of nowhere, it grabbed her and pulled her into the water. The grip was fast and incredibly strong. The audience then saw the giant whale drag her under and thrash her around the pool.
Oh
and
my gosh.
SeaWorld staff rushed to help.
Oh
They
my
threw
gosh.
nets and food into the water to distract Tilikum and tried guiding it through different pools until it was finally moved into a smaller medical pool where he could be contained. But for a whole 45 minutes, he would not let Dawn go. Trainers and guests could only watch helplessly as she drowned. When her body was finally recovered, the autopsy showed just how violent the attack had been. Drowning was the official cause of death, but her injuries were horrific. Her spinal cord was severed. Her jaw, ribs, and bones in her neck were broken. Her scalp had been completely torn off. Her left arm ripped away, and her left knee dislocated. The report showed she had not only drowned, she had also suffered massive trauma from the sheer power of the orca's movements. Her death led to trainers being banned from swimming with the whales during shows.
Wait, why was that whale so violent? Not like it's bad enough that they're already 5 times the size of a human. They got 5 times as many teeth as us, 5 times the amount of strength as us. But now apparently they want to crunch on our bones and snack on us for 45 minutes too. 'Cause if you thought a 45-second YouTube short was long, think about 45 minutes underwater with a whale that is 5 times as violent. Not fun. Accident number 3.
Patricia Wyman. Patricia Wyman's death came only a few days after she started what she thought was her dream job. In April 1996, the 24-year-old wildlife biologist had just been hired to care for the wolves at Halliburton Forest and Wildlife Reserve.
Okay, I know wolves are pretty dangerous, but I used to have a lot of them where I used to live. And low-key, they're actually really beautiful. They're majestic, they're cool, and most importantly, they leave you alone if you are just smart enough to leave them alone too. Cause ain't nobody need a pet wolf to hold on to. I would much rather have something soft, cuddly, and cute like this Nuggy. Aww.
The reserve was known for keeping its wolves as wild as possible,
Wow.
which is why visitors could only see the pack through one-way glass, and staff were warned that people should never try to make contact with the animals.
Wait, what kind of contact? Like eye contact? Will they make me go oof with just the power of their eyes? Cause seriously, family, I don't know if you've ever had a staring contest with someone, but not only is it super awkward, super weird, low-key, it also kind of makes you want to die. And apparently the wolves are actually making that come to life. They are taking this too far.
Patricia entered the wolves' 15-acre enclosure alone. Normally, the wolves were shy and stayed away from humans, but that day, something was different. When she stepped inside, the wolves stood up and began moving toward her. Witnesses later reported that they circled her, slowly surrounding her inside their territory. Patricia must have realized she was in danger, but before she could escape, she tripped over a fallen tree. That mistake sealed her fate because the alpha male rushed at her first, knocking her to the ground, and the rest of the pack followed. They bit into her arms and legs, tearing through skin and muscle, and pulled her in different directions. She tried to fight back, but the pack was too strong. Each wolf weighed as much as 176 pounds.
And each wolf also had rabies. Seriously, why else would it look like that? And can somebody tell me why Patricia is going in the room with all of these giant hungry worms? I mean wolves? They do kind of look like worms.
Patricia lost blood quickly and grew weaker as the wolves mauled her. She tried to protect her head and neck, but it wasn't enough. Within minutes, she died inside the enclosure only 4 days into her new job. When police arrived, the wolves were still guarding her, even though they hadn't yet eaten her. When officers tried to approach, the wolves circled them too, growling and moving closer, until gunshots were fired into the air to scare them away. Experts later said that the wolves' behavior had shifted suddenly and unpredictably, especially in the alpha male. No one knows why Patricia entered the enclosure that day when it wasn't feeding time, but once she was inside, she had no way to escape.
Ooh. And that is why, family, not only do we never work at dangerous zoos, but we should also most definitely never, ever, ever, and I mean ever, wear perfume that smells like a cheeseburger too. Because then she would have gone oof twice as fast. Oh. You think I'm lying to you? Put on cheeseburger perfume and then you tell me. No, please don't actually do that. I don't know what will happen. Accident number 4.
Rosa King. On what seemed a normal morning, Rosa King, a 33-year-old zookeeper at Hamerton Zoo Park, was cleaning the windows inside the tiger paddock before the zoo opened to visitors, which was just a routine part of her work. The enclosure housed Sisip, a fully grown male Malayan tiger. Safety rules required that a heavy vertical slide and 2 gates be closed to keep the tiger locked away whenever a keeper went inside.
2 gates closed? What is this lion in a top security prison? He can't do anything that bad, can he? Let's see.
But that morning, when Rosa stepped in, all 3 barriers had been left open.
Oh.
This meant Sisip had full access to the paddock. Tragedy struck. Sisip mauled her with extreme force. Its jaws clamped down on her neck with enough force to break through the bones of her spine, and her spinal cord was completely severed in the neck area.
Yep, I was wrong. I was so wrong. I was wrong. My bad.
A devastating injury that left her instantly paralyzed and unable to fight back.
Oh,
The bite
no.
crushed soft tissue and broke bone, while the tiger's teeth sank deep into her throat. Her arms were ripped open with deep gouges, and her right leg was badly torn by both bites and swipes. Across her body, there were many cuts and scratches, signs of repeated mauling. These wounds would have caused her to lose a huge amount of blood within only moments. A visitor looking through the viewing area was the first to notice Rosa's body lying motionless on the ground and raised the alarm. The investigation confirmed that there had been no mechanical failure with the gates or slides. Rosa had entered without realizing the barriers were open, leaving her exposed to the tiger. The zoo's safety system depended entirely on keepers following the procedure correctly every time.
Wait. Are they trying to blame that on her? They're like, oh, Rosa, you should have checked if the gate was left open. Excuse me, Mr. Gatekeeper owner, sir? Why was the gate not shut in the first place? And better yet, why am I working at a place with hundreds of animals that could oof me? 'Cause yeah, feeding cute penguins sounds cute and all. Until you realize you also have to feed the giant lions. That would be lying if they didn't want to rip off your face. Seriously, family, they will do that every day. Have you seen the size of the lions? They're starving. They'll eat anything. Accident number 5.
Alexis Martinez. On December 24th, 2009, trainer Alexis Martinez was working with Keto, a huge orca that weighed more than...
Keto? Wait, is that whale on the keto diet? You trying to find a new girlfriend under that water? Cause at 6,600 pounds, maybe he is trying to lose some weight. Don't worry, family. Every whale is beautiful, except the ones that want to bite off your face. Those ones I don't care to shame.
that weighed more than 6,600 pounds when the animal suddenly turned on him. At first, the session seemed normal, even though reports said Keto wasn't responding well to the signals it had been trained to follow. Then, as Alexis swam toward the shallow platform, Keto suddenly leaned toward him, pushed him under the water with his rostrum, the front of the whale's head, and rammed him hard in the chest. Trainers standing at the side tried everything to get Keto to stop. They slapped the water, gave hand signals, and even shook a food bucket, but the orca ignored all commands. It came up briefly for air, then went straight back to Alexis. Witnesses said it lifted Alexis out of the water on his rostrum and held him with his mouth shut. When Keto finally let him go, Alexis's body sank to the bottom of the pool, motionless. Rescuers tried to move Keto into another tank so they could reach Alexis, but the orca resisted. It played with the gates and refused to cooperate, delaying the rescue. Staff could only recover Alexis after they used a net to redirect the whale. The autopsy revealed how violent the attack had been.
Hold on. People are wondering why Keto did this. I think the answer is clear. Keto's name is literally Keto, which obviously means he's on the keto whale diet. And if he's on the keto whale diet, then he's obviously hangry. On the official keto diet, you cannot eat carbs. You can't eat any sugar. So if I was a whale 6,600 pounds and I'm not even allowed to eat a Snickers bar, then yeah, I am freaking out too. I mean, I wouldn't flip around a human body or nothing, but I would flip around my attitude. Because somebody better give me chocolate right now, or this is unfair.
Staff could only recover Alexis after they used a net to redirect the whale. The autopsy revealed how violent the attack had been. Alexis died from massive internal bleeding caused by the crushing force. His chest was broken with many compression fractures, and his organs were torn apart.
Oh no. The worst part is the whale didn't even eat his body. It's like, okay, maybe I can understand why animals eat people when they're hungry. That is the definition of animal instinct. survival and whatnot. But this evil giant whale just oofed this poor person for the plot? He didn't even eat him! And somehow that makes me 10 times more offended. It was all for nothing! Accident number 6!
Gian Rankarasamy. On the morning of September 10th, 2025, 58-year-old zookeeper Gian Rankarasamy, a veteran who had worked with lions and tigers for almost 20 years.
Okay, a 58-year-old working with giant lions, giant tigers. Okay, family, we already know he's oofed.
Stepped out of his vehicle inside the lion enclosure during feeding time, while tourists remained inside. Allegedly, according to the safety rules, no one is ever allowed to leave the vehicle in predator areas, but that morning, Gian did. He left the vehicle door open and stood beside it while the lions were being fed. One lion crept up behind him and suddenly pounced, knocking him to the ground. Within seconds, the rest of the pride joined in. Tourists sitting inside their cars watched in horror as the lions mauled Gian, biting and clawing him while he lay helpless on the ground. Some honked their horns frantically to try to scare the animals away, but the lions ignored the noise. The attack lasted for nearly 15 minutes before help arrived. When they finally reached the scene and pulled Gian's body out, the injuries were catastrophic. His chest had been ripped open, his neck and one leg were broken, and his body was covered with deep bite and claw wounds. He was rushed to Intrarat Hospital, but doctors could only declare him dead. Police and wildlife authorities launched a full investigation to find out why Gian left the vehicle. Some believe it may have been a mistake or distraction, while his family insists he never broke safety rules without a reason. His wife said he always followed the guidelines and cared for the animals like family. His brother explained that Gian was only a few months away from retirement.
Whoa, wait a second. That just gave this story a giant twist. Because family, if Gian always followed the rules and was only a couple months away from retirement, could it possibly be that whoever was in that vehicle with him that day pushed him out? Maybe it was evil tourists who decided to do a bad prank. Or maybe, just maybe, was there someone who worked at this animal zoo, maybe even owned the zoo, and didn't want to pay Gian his giant pension that he would have got after he finally retired? Because family, at most jobs that you work at, if you work there a certain amount of time and then quit, when you're older, they give you something called a pension, which is a monthly payment of cash. I don't know, family. I don't know. This is all conspiracy, so I don't even want to say that. You never know with these crazy stories. Anything is possible. Accident number 7.
Norden bin Montong. On the afternoon of November 13th, 2008, 32-year-old Norden bin Montong, a Malaysian cleaner at Singapore Zoo, climbed over the barrier and jumped into the white tiger enclosure.
What?
People watching said he was carrying a broom and a yellow bucket, shouting as he walked. At first, visitors thought it was part of a show and saw 3 white tigers coming toward him slowly. One moved closer, then suddenly hit him, knocking him to his knees. Norden tried to protect himself, even lifting the bucket over his head like a shield, but it was no use.
What's that bucket gonna do? Make the tigers want to build a sandcastle with you? I don't think so!
A second tiger joined in, and both began biting at him. Onlookers screamed for him to get back into the nearby water, but his sudden movements only made the tigers attack harder. One tiger bit into his neck and pushed him to the ground. Another grabbed his body and dragged him further inside the paddock. People threw things and shouted, but the attack went on for nearly 2 minutes. The tigers bit him again and again on the head, chest, and body. Doctors counted more than 90 wounds. His ribs and skull were broken, and the bites to his neck were so bad that he had no chance of surviving. Keepers ran to the scene and used long poles, banging them on the ground to scare the tigers away. After several tries, they managed to distract the animals long enough to pull Norden's body out. Veterinarians tried first aid while waiting for paramedics, but it was too late. He was pronounced dead shortly afterward. Investigators later said that Norden had entered the enclosure on purpose, and his death was treated as a suicide.
What? No! If he had a bucket and a broom in his hand, maybe he was trying to clean a rock or sweep or something. I don't know. Oh! Family, remember, not all animals are bad. A lot of them are very cute. So go to shopalexia.com/subscribe to be the first to know about this cute little dude. Available on shopalexia.com November 28th. Smash like on today's video. Subscribe to Anything Alexia. Click any video right here for the next Anything Alexia episode, or click right here to go to shopalexia.com/subscribe. And all the NUGGY characters and our future NUGGY character. Love you so much. And we'll see you all in tomorrow's video.